This time on Kawaii-Fi Radio, it's our White Day special, and that means things are a little spicy. Twice a year, we're let out of our box to talk about mature content.
It all started with episode 69, didn't it?
Because you guys wouldn't shut up about it. This episode, we're talking about gushing over magical girls.
Each episode I was just like, how is this getting worse?
I was like, there's a reason why I labeled this not safe for work.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kyle and Aaron become magical girls. Somehow.
You didn't have a magical girl transformation sequence during the pre-show today?
If this is my magical girl transformation, I want a refund.
Ava launch!
Tetsuo! Kaneda!
Onita?
It's over 9,000! Nani?
Configure the language logic interface for Japanese.
Kawaii-Fi.
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 Kawaii-Fi Radio!
Konnichiwa, and welcome. You tuned into Kawaii-Fi Radio, the podcast we dive in the world of anime, manga, and otaku culture, and pretty much all things Japanese that is nerdy. I'm Kyle, with me is Aaron, and you've got the dynamic duo today.
The AK-47.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah.
Let's roll.
Is that like, you know, we're old but we're still useful? Like,
Yes, and we cause massive pain.
we cause massive damage. So look, this episode, it's White Day episode, and that means our wonderful Patreon members have gifted us a anime to watch in return for our Valentine's Day offering. So if you're a long-time listener, you probably know where this is heading, so let's get the warning out the way. This episode is not for all ages, and the show we'll be discussing has content that may be objectionable and not suitable for young audiences. If you are under 18, we'd recommend you stop listening now or seek parental supervision, as this show is, it's a bit full on.
I was going to say, may contain?
It does.
It outright does.
Look,
Oh.
I'm just going to put it out there, like, I'm assuming if you're under 18, you've either got parental supervision right now or you're no longer listening.
We hope.
We hope.
We strongly hope.
We strongly suggest. But this show has a lot of fetish niches in it.
Yeah, if you're under 18 and listening without parental consent or guidance right now, the podcast will blow up in 3, 2, 1.
I don't have a boom.
Sorry to hear about your dead brother. You get 5 big boobs.
There we go. So, we are talking about, well, look, our Patreon members have chosen a doozy this time around. We're talking about the ecchi and yuri-filled color festival that is gushing over magical girls. Yes, that one. The name is kind of also like interpreted differently depending on what translation you go for. The other one is other version of it is called Looking Up to Magical Girls and ...
Yeah.
So the official English translation is Gushing Over. For the anime, the manga, I'm not sure.
I mean, the English title makes more sense given the characters.
Yeah. It really does. It really does. But yeah, look, so if you are new to the podcast, hello. This is not a normal episode. Normally we are a PG podcast, but twice a year we're let out of our box to talk about mature content for Valentine's Day and White Day.
It all started with episode 69, didn't it?
Yes, it did, because you guys wouldn't shut up about it. We're also on YouTube if you are listening, so you can watch us there. And if you are already there, hello.
Hello. Don't mind the face.
This is a face for radio. Now, if you would like to support us, there's a Patreon. There is more Kawaii-Fi content on there, so details on that. And of course, you can vote on special episodes like this if you do join, even on the lowest tier. So all the episode details are in the episode description. But let's get started off with what we've been watching, because let's be honest, it's been a hot minute.
I have no idea how old I am or where I came from.
Daddy! Ohayo!
Hang time! I gotta go!
I have to know! Hooray! I did the thing!
Oni-chan, nani wo miru? What we're watching.
All right. This is going to be a little bit different because there's only the two of us, and we haven't technically had a proper full episode in over a month.
Oh, diggity dang.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was
right,
away, and then we
yeah.
had the pre-recorded one, and then the post-recorded one, and then there's the short one, and yeah. There's been a lot going on, so we're going to kind of run through quite a few of the shows that are airing not a few of them, quite a few, 5 shows that are airing at the moment.
We're speed running this.
Yeah. So, first things first, Aaron, Red Ranger in Another World.
Super cool if you like your Sentai, your Kamen Rangers, all of that. Amazing. It's an isekai of that. So the guy takes his powers over to the other world. He conveniently enough gets to take the entire Megazord with him.
I know. I saw that and I'm like...
Shouldn't you just get your mech? No, we're cool.
No.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
No.
Yeah, and he gets all the regular Ranger powers. Like he's got his different guns named after his theme. His things named after designed after a band-aid that lets him transform.
It's also like very self-aware.
It's very self-aware, yes.
Yeah, it's also aware of how cringe some of the stuff is as well, and the other characters comment on that.
Yeah, but also like some of the other characters are fun to sort of explore. Like you've got a mage, you've got a knight who's got a shifting sword from legend. You've got a princess with the ability to stop the evil things that's going on. They basically, the bad guys are all possessed by this flower that grants them a wish, but then eventually ends up turning them into a monster.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And so the princess has one, but hers allows her to eat the people, swallow the seed, and spit the regular person back out, cured of it.
Oh.
So she's going around trying to help everyone, and everyone else is her adventuring party, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good. Genuinely, I'm enjoying it.
Animation's really high quality.
I'm hoping it's a 2-core season.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far, and I think I've only seen about 3 or 4 episodes, it feels like there's a bigger overarching thing that needs to be resolved at some point in it. So how they get to that point, we'll see.
It'll be fun to find out.
Oh, definitely. Let's move on to Ameku MD. We started watching this literally last night. Watched the first episode.
The first one, right?
Yeah, just the first one. It's House, but it's anime.
Also, she's polite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's basically House, except that imagine House was, like, polite.
21-year-old Japanese woman.
She's a little older than 21 because if she's done a doctorate, she'd have to be at least 24.
Okay.
I mean, even if she is a genius, like a full doctorate length is pretty long.
Yeah.
And she's also like the deputy
director
of the hospital, but that's because it's her family owns the hospital.
And her uncle's the director.
Yeah. So, Nepo baby, yes, but really smart Nepo baby. So, okay. It's really... Man, it's just House.
Yeah,
it is just House, but it's better than House.
If you've seen an episode of House and how he gets like this, he looks at somebody that nobody can diagnose, and then instantly just goes, "Oh, it's this," and then they're better.
Also, like they take some pot shots at House in literally the first episode and goes, "Is it lupus? No, of course it's not lupus." It's like,
But like, she'll walk in, look at the patient, look at something in the items nearby, and be like, "Oh, it's this." And it's like, okay.
It's like, that checks.
Cool.
Like, yeah.
Yep.
We're going to definitely watch more. I think this actually could be quite fun.
I like her fairy house.
Yeah, I do too. It's very much like a... Yeah, didn't the guy say it's a witch's house? And yes she is the witch.
Yes. Look, just put a big pointy hat on her, you said.
Yeah, you're good. All adult cast as well, which is nice. So, And
there's a T-Rex.
Actually, now that you said that, we need to watch episode 2. I need to know. I need to know. A guy comes in the first episode and his foot's been bitten off, and her conclusion is that a T-Rex did it. And we're just like, hang on, run me by that again. So like, sure, they could have potentially used the skull to cut it off or something like that, but there's a whole load of other things.
I don't think it was cut off. I think it was crushed by the teeth. Like they separated the bottom jaw and the top jaw, and then
maybe like because we think he's a Yakuza, maybe the Yakuza were trying to steal like a crate of like things, and they fell out and crushed his leg, and they just left him.
You know what? With these big episode cliffhangers, it'd be fun just to sit there and just be like, okay, what do you think it is?
Yeah. It could be this, could be that. Next, we got to talk about the obvious one, which is the big one of the season, Sakamoto Days.
Oh my goodness, Sakamoto Days.
Look, watch it.
Yes.
It's great. Just watch it.
Do yourself a favor, sit down, watch the whole dang thing.
Because it's easy watching. If you don't know what Sakamoto Days is, Sakamoto Taro was like the number one hitman in Japan. He's unbeatable, but then he fell in love. So he quit the league and decided to start a business. So he runs his own little convenience store.
At his wife's request.
Mm-hmm.
He is a gentleman at heart.
Yeah. So he's now got a daughter and a wife, and he's gotten fat. And shenanigans ensue.
Yeah. If you enjoyed Spy Family, you'll enjoy this.
Yeah.
Very much the same sort of laneway.
Yeah.
Like family, a little bit of psychic powers.
Yeah.
Assassins.
Slapstick comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's also quite smart on the way it handles some of the scenarios, such as like the fight in the fairgrounds.
It's John Wick Spy Family.
Yeah. 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 There you go. John Wick Spy Family.
That's exactly it.
And Sakamoto's family has one rule: you cannot kill anyone.
Yep.
So there you go. Which obviously means when he's dealing with other high-grade assassins, he basically just demoralizes them to the point that they can't do anything.
He beats them with convenience store items.
Like a pen or a razor or a rubber band or a rubber, like erasing
Or chewing
stuff.
gum and
Yeah.
just like flicks it at them.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. So, yeah, check that out.
Yeah, definitely.
I need to talk about I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. This is a fantasy story. Mm-hmm. The girl has joined the guild as a receptionist, and she did it because she wanted a secure, stable job with proper hours so that she could clock out on time and do things. But obviously, adventurers being adventurers, no, there's always overtime, and she hates it. But turns out that she's hella powerful. She was given like what they call a deer skill, which is like there's different tiers of skills and powers adventurers can earn and develop. She's got one which is literally god tier.
Ooh.
Yeah. So she will solo any boss if she needs to clock out on
Even
time.
her own.
Yeah. Spoilers. Not quite. So the guild, she goes solos a boss. Everyone's like, who's this person? They dub her the executioner. No one knows who they are. There's just this, cloaked person, massive hammer, which has got a blade and a hammer on different sides of the hammer.
I dig that.
Yeah. And then, the top guild starts trying to find her. The top hero finds out who she is. He seems to have fallen head over heels for her.
Of course.
She's very much like, leave me alone. I like my comfy life.
I love a woman who can kick my ass.
Literally. And then, things escalate, more things happen in the town. And then the guild, the Adventurers Guild, the head of it, who obviously correlates with everyone, like the adventuring parties, groups, the receptionist, the whole lot. He invites her to like fight him basically and says, look, if you beat me, I will
Let you finish on time?
No. If you beat me, you don't have to join this adventurers party.
Oh, okay.
But his ability's pretty special.
Of course it is.
And then he realizes that he actually is still not as strong as her. And he's like, nope, never mind, we're good.
I thought you were going to say that he realizes he's in love with her. I was like, God damn it.
No. There's only one. So only the leader of I think they're called the Silver Fang Adventurous Party. It's been a while since I've watched the last episode. I think I've got 3 to watch. He is definitely full head over heels for her, ends up helping her with some of her paperwork and stuff. But there's definitely something going on in the world, and you get to learn. There are, similar to Red Ranger, where there seems to be all these people who are being tempted by a power that's affecting them, or they're just horrible people, and there seems to be a lot of horrible people in this world.
Are we getting a crossover?
I don't know. Yeah. Either way, there's a lot of similarities there to the way some of these things play out. But obviously without the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers powers.
But what about a Kamen Rider? You got a Kamen Rider? I'll take a Kamen Rider.
Actually, there's some. I suspect one of the Dia powers actually involves something like that. I got a glimpse in like one of the last episodes I watched. I'm like, that doesn't seem very normal. So I feel like the ancient ruins had like an ancient precursor race of gods or something, and their old inventions and traps and creatures are still in there. Ooh. So, but like it also deals with the psychology of the characters as well, and it delves into like a pair of the adventurers almost die, like, and they handle it properly. It's not just like, oh, they'll be fine. No, like Healer has trauma now. healer struggles to heal sometimes because she gets flashbacks. And then you start learning more about the other trauma she's gone through and stuff like that, which is where we are in the story. So there's like, it doesn't go all light and cushy. It's kind of similar to that one where it's like, what did she say? She wanted to be like the girl gets reincarnated. In her previous life, she was like really smart, really above average, you know, and then she says, no, I want to be perfectly average in my new life. I don't want to stand out. But the problem is it's the world average, not human average. So it also averaged her against the demons and the demon lord. So she's actually overpowered for a human.
God dang it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but it was like the classic, you know, 4 girls, 4 different colors of hair, all have a different class, all have a backstory, and that went dark. That went hella dark. Like,
Is
after
it like a female Rising of S.H.I.E.L.D. hero?
Yeah, no. Yes and no. Like, it's hard to... I'm going to find it. You know what? I'm just going to find it, and I'll come back to it once we do.
Cool.
But
we'll
look...
just play some loading music here. We'll do the... let's game it out sometime later.
14 hours later.
Please hold.
Oh, God. Could you imagine?
Oh, dear.
Now, we do need to also talk about, and this is the last one I'm going to touch on, is Dragon Ball Daima.
Ooh, Dragon Ball Daima.
We thought this was going to be trash.
We thought this was going to be GT Part 2, which
Yeah,
kinda.
Yeah, but also no.
Yeah.
It's really good. I've been pleasantly surprised. So for those who are familiar with Dragon Ball Super and how rough the animation was at the start of that,
Oh, yeah.
this does not have that problem at all.
Smooth.
It's very smooth. It's of the quality you would expect of a current Dragon Ball film, just minus the special effects.
Well, I mean, the last Dragon Ball film was all 3D CG.
Yeah, actually, this is better than that.
Yes, it
Don't
is.
get me wrong, the last, like, Dragon Ball Superheroes was still a good film.
I enjoyed it.
And the CG wasn't bad.
You kind of forget about it like 5 to 10 minutes in. You're just like, oh, this is just a movie. And then afterwards again, you realize, wait.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, right, yeah. So yeah, look, it's really good. I was surprised by the quality of the animation and also the storyline. Like, we all have seen all the images, especially now that it's finished its episode run. So it's had 20 episodes for its first part. Many of us have seen the transformations that have come back and the things that they've borrowed from GT.
Mm-hmm. And also the thing that was never done before, that they never discussed in the future of Super.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, look, we're glad we've got it, but...
Yeah. So this does technically sit between Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. And it's kind of weird in that regard because
Well, it means that Goku was holding back against Beerus.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which...
I mean, admittedly, with the Battle of the Gods storyline, it was about them attaining the Super Saiyan God mode.
Yeah.
Like, that was the whole point of it. So, if you ignore any prior different changes, because we know that, like, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4 in games, they always have Super Saiyan 4 being so ridiculously overpowered that it was, like, on par with, like, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Whereas this kind of provides more context on where the scaling should be.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, also Dragon Ball Daima content is getting added to DBZ Kakarot's game as
Yes.
well for newer DLC.
And there's also toys of it on shelves.
Oh, really?
You can get Vegeta Kid Daima figures
Huh.
at like Target and Big W. Yeah. No,
What?
that was my reaction when I saw it. I went, no.
No
What?
way.
No. Really?
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm going to guess all the Goku ones sold out though, because I only ever see Vegeta.
That might have something to do with it, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Either way, it's something we need to look into a bit further. We are enjoying what we've seen of it so far.
We watched 3 episodes and I thought it was 1. That tells you something good, right?
Yeah, right? Like, it's pretty good. Like, I've enjoyed a lot of what we've seen so far with it, and what I'm looking forward to see how they actually go further forward with this. Like, I think this could be really good.
How they go further beyond.
one step further. Yeah. And I'm about to break.
Oh, no, I meant Goku's
I know.
Bruce speech.
Yeah. And this is what it is to go one step beyond.
No, Goku, you're going to run out of time.
But yeah, look, it's a good series, and you should go check it out. If you have watched any of the prior Dragon Ball, if you enjoyed the Super movies, this is right up the alley. It works well. So go do it. Yeah. That's all we've got to say
Go
about
up
that.
the Dragon Ball Daima alley.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, with that, let's get into stuff that we normally don't talk about.
Wi-Fi radio. I think I watched that as a kid.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Back Catalogue.
All right.
Oh, that's a nice back. We're looking at the back catalogue.
Oh, God.
You're too tired for this.
No, that's fantastic. All right, gushing over magical girls. They all have very lovely backs. There we go. Done.
Okay. I mean, ooh.
Look, let's get the the context of this out of the way. So this began as a manga in 2019. Anime began airing in January 2024. That's wild to know that's over a year ago now. I feel weird about that. Studio is Asahi Productions, who have been around for a long time, like since the 80s. They kind of pop up every now and then and do stuff. Done a lot of films. I think they've got about 60 different projects in their catalogue at the moment.
Oh, wow.
So they're not, a small studio. They mostly tend to do back-end stuff, but they do their own stuff as well. Right. Action, comedy, yuri, ecchi, Mahou Shoujo, so magical girls, with a rating of R with mild nudity.
There's nip-nops.
I should also mention that apparently the Blu-ray is even more uncensored. I don't understand how it can get more uncensored.
No, I think I know the exact scene. Where she's giving Blue the back rub and then she gets further back and she...
Yeah, I think you might be right. So that's something to be aware of if you don't watch it on a streaming platform and instead get the Blu-rays. Watch alone.
Definitely unless you've got somebody there who like...
Look, I mean, if your partner's there and they're into it, go for it.
If it's consensual watching and they know what they're getting into and you know what you're getting into...
I mean, I didn't when I first started watching it, and I was like, "Oof."
Yeah, neither did I. Each episode, I was just like, "How is this getting worse?"
I was like, "There's a reason why I labeled this not safe for work."
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So look, gushing over magical girls is. I'm just going to read the synopsis and then you can take away from this what you want and we'll give you our impressions. So this focuses on Hiragi Utena. She's always looked up to magical girls and fantasized about transforming into a cool heroine who fights evil. So when a weird doll-like figure approaches her one evening claiming that she has magical power lying dormant within her, she trembles in excitement and thinks, I'm going to get to be a magical girl. But her colourful dream is quickly shattered in an ironic turn of events when she transforms into a villain. So she's disinterested in associating with the forces of evil and she tries to quit, but then a group of magical girls appear and declare war. A battle ensues and Hiragi soon discovers that she actually enjoys inflicting pain on others as her true nature starts to emerge. You might have seen the images of the main character from the manga and it's got her looking real goofy and it's like, you're thinking something stupid again, aren't you? This is very much the state of play that we're working with. The series follows Hiragi as she begins her new life as the leader of the villains, fighting against magical girls and indulging in her newfound sadistic nature to her heart's content. Yeah.
Yeah. Look.
There's about 50, 60 chapters of the manga. This is adapted 24. Season 2's already been confirmed. It's one of the few ecchi shows to actually be like hard ecchi shows to get confirmed. We haven't seen like, what was it? The big one. Interspecies Reviewers didn't get a second series. I mean, no surprise there.
Yeah.
What was the other one everyone was mentioning? Guild of the Depraved or Guild of the Perverted or something. Basically, it's a guy who he's an adventurer. He always does everything solo, but the guild starts shoving newbies onto him to join his team, and bad things always seem to happen because they're all incompetent. Yeah. So like, there's a lot of them getting like captured by like tentacle monsters and stuff like that, but it doesn't go, into the chicken formal wear category. It's just alluded to,
Right.
as these shows tend to do.
Yes.
Also,
they
not going to
heavily
say
imply everything.
Yeah. So a lot of these types of shows don't get that second season, and you can understand why. These tend to have a niche audience, but this went ballistic when the Blu-rays went out. Like, the viewership of the manga went through the roof when the anime started going out. The viewership on Japanese TV and streaming services was higher than any other ecchi show, and then the Blu-rays came out and they dominated the market. So this has earned the developers a lot of money. So I can understand why a second season is coming. Pun intended. So
Oh no, it never came.
yeah. So look, let's.
I had so many theories on like the characters and everything in the
Yeah.
lead up, and then like I just got too distracted by everything else going on.
Yeah.
Because like at first I was like, oh, maybe the evil team are all the 7 deadly sins. There's 7 of them, right? Like Utena's definitely lost, and then
Yeah.
Leopard seemed like Wrath, and Nero Alice was Sloth, and then we got bombarded by the other 4, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, I think her team just keeps getting bigger in the manga, so I think there might be more than 7 of them.
Oh, no.
So yeah, look, I don't know what to say. This show, every episode seems to have a fetish as the core point, and that will go from the Japanese bondage, like the
Shibari.
to
Electrostimulation, wax play.
baby play.
Yep, age play, different types of role playing.
Yeah.
They had tentacles on the last episode.
Oh yeah.
They
Like you name a fetish, I reckon this series has probably covered it. And the fact that we've only covered 24 chapters of the manga so far suggests that this is a trend for it. But I feel like the anime may have focused more on the fetish angle rather than the storytelling angle over it, based on what everyone has said on Mahou, basically.
well, the first 6 to 7 episodes were all just, oh, here's a fetish, there you go.
Fetish of
and
the week,
then
yeah.
like we had like 3 to 4 episodes of pure story, just pure story, and then the last episode was a beach episode.
Yeah. But I mean, those last 3 to 4 episodes was basically all about taming of Cyan.
Well, it
Blue.
was Cyan improving herself, taking down the leader of the evil group,
Yeah, getting her like power up.
getting her power up. Yeah, and then so
Look, there's the overarching story of this is interesting.
yes, the story itself incredible, and like you do have to watch the first 6, 7 episodes to sort of understand the characters,
dynamic of the
and
characters.
dynamic,
It's
and
kind
watch
of-
that slow progression into the story.
Yeah.
Because you can see it building and like the characters how they impact each other.
Yeah. Like, I think they definitely went for like the bait and switch. Like, yeah, oh, you like to see the raunchy stuff, and here's some plot.
Oh, you're here for the plot, huh?
Here it is.
Here it is.
4 episodes of it.
Wrong plot.
So, like, this kind of story-wise reminds me of High School of the Dead, because the story is there, but the first few episodes is using a lot of heavy impact raunchiness to try and drag you in.
Whether you want to or not.
Yeah. And like I keep saying this, and I've been saying it for years, like High School of the Dead, and I'm not normally an ecchi anime promoter, but High School of the Dead does it phenomenally well. It is a very interesting story. You want to know what's going on in this world. And the mangaka just stopped it after they had the Fukushima disaster, because for 2 reasons. One, he didn't feel like it was appropriate to do a post-apocalyptic story at that time. And secondly, he said he had a heart condition and he shouldn't write that. And then he went and wrote something even raunchier and then had a heart attack and died.
remember that. Oh my goodness.
So the manga does go past the anime by about 5 to 6 chapters, and you get some resolution there, but the story will never be completed, which is infuriating. I really would love like a fan group to just decide they want to go and continue the story and finish it themselves. Like, I would highly encourage that. Like, it deserves an ending. It deserves a proper ending, even if that is just them getting to the Okinawa airport. Like, because that's kind of like, it seems where they're heading to.
Or they die.
I'd rather them not die. They're good characters.
Yeah, but that'd be an interesting switch. Like,
I mean, I'm a level with you. Like, I'm really tired of them just killing characters off in like zombie animes for the sake of ending it. And it's just like, no, have them survive. Do what what's it called? It's doing Zom 100.
oh yes,
Like, Zom 100's manga, if you're not reading it, amazing. Like, it's so goofy. And if you went into that expecting, you know, like Dawn of the Dead, like, you're in the wrong party. This is goofy. This is like the KonoSuba of zombie flicks.
it's Dead Rising.
Yeah. But anyway, back on topic. Okay, so gushing over magical girls.
We're gonna gush over this a little bit.
Yeah. Beautiful animation.
Absolutely.
Really good sound design. A bit too good, a bit too raunchy, especially apparently on the Blu-ray there is additional sound effects. So that's something to be aware of. This may be a headphone.
It was definitely a headphone thing for me.
Yeah, like do not watch in public. The character designs and artwork work really well. Yes, they are definitely playing into the raunchy elements of it. Like the outfits of all of them, like the magical girls' outfits are very traditional magical girls, and the villains are definitely more erotic.
Except for Nero Alice for very, very obvious reasons.
Very obvious reasons, yeah. No.
Yeah. No.
I should also mention that they are technically meant to be
High
schoolers / early first year university. I can't remember because one of them's a different age from. I think Blue's older than the rest of them.
No, they're all in the same class.
Oh no, they are. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched it.
Yeah. Utena, Leopard, Cyan, Yellow, Cyan, Sulfur, and Magenta are all in the same class.
That's right. Yeah. Which does lead to some interesting interactions in the background.
Yes, it's fun watching them engage in class, and like Sulfur and Leopard hate each other.
They also hate each other on the battlefield too.
Yeah.
Which is even funnier. And it's like, how do you guys not...
Because there's magic preventing them from identifying each other.
I forgot that. Yeah, that was in like the second episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The storytelling is... I think it's impactful. Like when we get those good 4 episodes of proper story, it builds a good world. It kind of reminds me of like Magical Girl Site, which is like the really dark horror one that I've been meaning to read for a while, and I've just literally bookmarked it to read for this week. That's where like there's a website you can go in and put your name to become a magical girl, but it's horrible.
Oh, like Madoka Magica.
It's like Madoka Magica. This did come out after that, so this was like an even darker twist on Madoka.
Oh, Lord.
And like I didn't think Madoka was that dark. Emma watched it and also kind of agreed. She's like, I understand why people got hyped about it, but this feels like if you are not a horror fan and you've been previously and you've been introduced to a gateway drug to horror.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of like how if you
not saying
enjoy...
it's bad, by the way, just that if you're already a fan of horror, it's not as impactful.
Yeah. Well, it's like going from DC movies to The Boys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like a big shift in what you'd expect.
It's a tone shift, but it's still the same. And like people of the pre-existing genre of like nitty gritty nasty stuff are like, oh, this is child's play. What do you mean?
Yeah, and that's why well, look, I'm. If you thought Homelander was the good guy, you're an idiot. At any point, if you thought he was the good guy, you need help. And there, unfortunately, seems to have been a lot of people who thought Homelander was the good guy. And I'm like, how out of everything he's done did you get that message? Like,
when he crashed that plane.
Yeah, like...
Was that not a big red flag?
That's in season 1, guys. Like... We're in season 5 is the last season that's going to be coming out now, I think.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
He's not the good guy. He never was the good guy. The fact that he was threatening other heroes in his group means he's not the good guy.
But also, like, I do understand it's not clearly defined who the good guys are because of what they have to do.
I mean, the boys are bad as well, but Butcher's definitely villainous.
Yeah, look, there's no
there is no good person in this show.
Yes.
It's people doing what they have to survive in a bad situation, which has been caused by Homelander.
Yes, and morality is entirely objective, which is the point in the show.
Exactly. So it's pretty good. Like, I know this is completely unrelated to what we're talking about, but it's the same sort of thing. It's looking at it through a different lens.
Yeah.
So watch The Boys. Really good. Quite violent, though. And the same sort of thing with Gushing Over Magical Girls. If you come into this expecting, like, normal magical girls or Reincarnated as a villainess type stories, it's neither of those. This is closer to being on the chicken formal wear scale of things. It is definitely like if you watched High School of the Dead, what do you call it? Interspecies reviewers. Freezing, stuff like that. It's definitely much more on that end of the scale. It's a lot more bordering on erotica than it is on...
This is like ecchi with a side of magical girls.
Hard ecchi.
Hard ecchi with a side of magical girls.
It's not even light. It's not just like a panty shot. Like, this is full on.
Yeah.
It's gratuitous at some point.
The ecchi is the steak in your meal. The magical girls are the little salad they put there because they have to put vegetables there.
Legally required.
Yeah. And there's probably going to be a vegetable you don't like in there, like capsicum for me. Like, I put that to the side. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, that age play thing was definitely that for me. Yeah. Anyway, look, this is not going to be for everyone at all, but... It's hilarious.
Yeah, and you'll probably find something you do rather enjoy in there.
Yeah, like it might be the story, it might be the character designs, it might be a specific fetish is, up your alley that you find interesting. It might just be that you think it's funny to see the villain succeed by being a pervert.
And even when she gets them into a position where they can't do anything, she never kills them, never finishes them off. She's like, okay, playtime's over, bye.
Never finishes them off, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not in that term, no.
No.
Oh.
None of them finish.
That's true. That's true. It's very corrupting.
Which is why Cyan gets the way she does get.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now that I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Revelations with Kyle.
I'm pretty sure this was on High Dive because Crunchyroll wouldn't host it.
Yeah, no, Crunchyroll wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole.
Like it's been a hot minute since I checked it out. So I'm gonna double check. I'm pretty damn sure it was High Dive exclusive, but let's make sure. As we said, it is R-rated. It's 13 episodes, and it is not for the kids.
Do not play this with children around. If you play this with children around, I will enter your house and Negan you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a way to do it.
Yeah, no, Aaron does not accept that.
Yeah. So look, yep, it is on High Dive. So that which checks out. Like, High Dive does tend to handle some of the more mature content these days, like
the outlying stuff, like the stuff that Crunchyroll won't touch, but is sort of like going on is, yeah. But yeah, check it out. If that is up your alley, I think you will probably enjoy it. And with that, let's get stuck into some anime news.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Tonight on Anime Communique.
Great story, compelling and rich.
Nothing brings ratings up like a little controversy.
We got a lot of news, and unsurprisingly, we do have a couple of controversies to get us kicked off. The first one is AI anime. Frontier Works and Kaka Creations, and yes, it is a steaming pile of Kaka. Creations Twins Hinahima AI anime is going to debut on March 29. This is the AI anime project where it's two girls who want to be famous on TikTok. Yeah.
Can we stop with the AI stuff?
I would like it too. So the main animator... Look, I don't know how to approach this. So they've got a couple of people on for this who actually are in the anime industry proper. Main animator Yosuke Kudo. Then they've got a 3D animation director, director of photography, a sound designer. Apparently, the character Takumi Yokoto is the character designer, who is the Love Live character designer.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm a level with you. Love Live characters are in 3D, so it's already a little bit weird to begin with.
They're in 3D during the performances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This seems to be a full 3D show.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. And apparently Ultra Noob, I don't know that's their handle, is the AI 3D technical director. There is a trailer out, and that trailer is shocking. There's people in the comments who are like, oh yeah, I'd watch that. And it's like, no, you can very clearly tell this is AI. It is very uncanny. It is very like the characters, like all of the cuts have been done by AI. Everything looks like it's AI. It's got that weird sort of chroma polish to it that it doesn't need. And you can see it in all the backgrounds. Like, the characters are probably the only ones who look normal, but they still have that weird CGI, and their eyes move around their face because they've used AI. So it's not good. Stop saying it's good, people. It's bad. It looks terrible.
Well, on that note, I saw that... Have you heard of Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah.
They released a new trailer for their new game coming out.
And they used AI for that, didn't they?
They used AI for the voices.
No!
Yes.
Stop being cheap!
Well, that's the thing, right? They're using this person's hard work that she's done and just robbed her of it, gone, oh yeah, you know how you put all that effort into that character and we paid you for it? Well, now, since it's our character, we're just going to do what we want. We've got enough of your voice to just... There we go.
Look, they've said, like, the staff member drew the characters in Clip Studio Paint, which is used for the visuals, which is used for a lot of the stuff. But for the background, a photograph was converted to an anime background using AI, then retouched by art staff. And the logo was hand-drawn, special effects used this, that, and the other. It's like, it doesn't matter. You can put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig.
Yeah.
Like... No, more than 95% of the cuts in the anime will use AI, and a person will make the final edits by hand. The anime also uses other standard tools such as, Clip Studio Paint, Adobe Suite, and so on. But again, if you're having to correct all the errors, it's gonna look rubbish.
Not to mention the state of the animation workers and like how they get treated like crap already.
Yeah, this is
taking away
further
more
undermining
of their
them.
work.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't care if this is saving you money, corporate. You don't deserve to save money. Stop paying your CEO ridiculous income. Yeah. Like they're saying like it's using AI as a supportive AI, and it's like, no, it's not. If the AI is using elements and creating the cuts in the animation as well, that's not supportive. That's doing your job. Mm-hmm. So no.
Hire enough animators, pay them correctly.
Take money off your CEO because you don't need that much money.
No.
Like, it's greed. That's all it is.
As long as you can survive and comfortably, that's all you need. If your bank account starts floating over more than you need, that's an issue.
Well, look, it's okay to have savings.
Savings, yes.
Savings is fine. But if your bank account has several million in it, you're
you're
good.
Earning more than you're spending regularly.
Like, what? Ugh. Anyway, rage.
Down with corporations.
Down with the leaders.
Johnny Silverhand time.
Oh man, don't tempt me to go full Johnny Silverhand. Let's talk something that's slightly controversial, but I'm kind of coming around to it. All You Need Is Kill is getting a anime. Now, for context, All You Need Is Kill is a sci-fi novel which then had a manga adaptation, and then Hollywood created the Edge of Tomorrow film from it. They have got an anime announced, and they haven't followed the art style of the manga. Now,
interesting choice.
To put it in context, the art style of the manga was done by the guy who did Death Note.
Oh.
So it's beautiful.
Yeah, because he also did Platinum End.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful art. Studio 4 Degrees C, who I do really like, have taken over this, but it kind of looks more like Paprika or Children of the Sea or Fortune Favors Lady Nikui than the manga. It looks completely different. The designs of everything are different, and that's fair. Like, the original material is manga, is a novel, not a manga, but the manga is so recognizable. It is iconic. Like, you see it and you go, that is all there is kill. They're also going to tell the story from a different viewpoint than the novel. So I think they're going to focus on... So there's two protagonists in the story. There is the guy and the girl. And both of them are stuck in the time loop. The girl is not the main protagonist. She is secondary. In this story, I think they're focusing on her story.
Okay.
Instead of his.
So she's primary, he's secondary.
Exactly. The problem is that like the artwork just kind of looks a bit funky compared to what the original is. And I do understand like going for a different style, but the armor in particular just looks... I mean, I don't know what they were going for. They look like pajamas. Like...
Armor jammies.
I don't know what to make of that. Like, if you've seen like Edge of Tomorrow, you've seen like the mecha suits and the armor and stuff like that, and that's very much what the manga is based on. There's a whole thing about getting a custom suit, which is, you know, extra technologically savvy and so forth. Whereas that looks like pajamas.
It looks like a fashion spacesuit.
Yeah, exactly right.
Where is armor?
Exactly. Seeing the trailer, like, I can see where they're going with it. Like, I do like the trailer. I don't like the outfits, but I do like the trailer and the art style because it is very sort of... Oh, I mean, how do you even explain it? It's very kind of dreamy in a way because like the idea of repeating sequences over and over again, like reality feels like it's bending to people. Like you kind of lose your mind a little bit. So some of that could work to this. And it also makes the alien creatures in this series feel more alien because they're just like colors you would not expect. So if you haven't seen either the Hollywood adaptation or read the manga or read the novel, it's set in a future Earth under attack by alien invaders known as mimics. Humanity's infantry goes into battle in powered armor suits that enhance their deadliness, but they are still losing the war. Keiji Kiriya is a newly enlisted soldier, but he dies in his first battle, and after he dies, he finds himself awakening to the time prior to the battle, having inexplicably entered a time loop. So he enters and returns and wakes up in his bed the morning of the battle each time. So instead of, you know, dying every time he dies, he repeats. So through a repeating process of dying and learning from his mistakes, he slowly finds a way to live longer and longer and finds himself drawn to an elite soldier named Rita Vratsky. They end up training each other repeatedly and then finding all of the possible routes they can take in the battle to win. Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Without spoiling anything, well, trying to avoid it, be aware that this story is a tragedy. It is not a heroic rescuing of the world and all that. It is truly a tragedy focusing on two people who are stuck in a horrible situation and who find each other in a way to support each other to at least accomplish the goal that they set out for. Don't expect a happy ending.
Okay.
If the manga is anything to go on. My understanding is the manga adapted the whole book. But it is very much it's a dark story. Like, it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows at the end. So, and that is very much what the manga followed. And then the film also kind of followed that as well. But the film which was Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, that tried to like rewrite the end, and it took away, like, I didn't know it at the time when I was watching it, but I felt the ending was just a bit off. Like, it just felt like it was too much of a, you know, here's a happy ending. And having read the manga and knowing the background of what's going on, it's like that shouldn't have happened. That's really bad. You've completely changed that really core element that's in the background of the story. So yeah, look, I'm interested to see how they do this because if it follows the manga story, which I assume followed the novel directly, it's not going to be a happy ending. This is going to be another like cyberpunk.
Oh.
Like, there's going to be a lot of pain at the end.
I really want to stay at your house.
Yeah, we're definitely okay. Anyway, let's move on to less controversial news and more fun stuff. There is a manga called Black Torch, which is getting a TV anime. The anime adaptation will be coming soon. this isn't a well-known manga from what I understand, or at least it's not highly talked about. It ran from 2016 to 2018 in Japan. So if it's not coming out this year, then it'll be next year. So that's 8 years since it ended. So I think it only had, I think it was 5 volumes. And so that's like, give or take, 30 to 40 chapters. It focuses on Jiro, who's descended from a long line of shinobis, and he can also talk to animals. So,
Oh, cute.
although he may appear rough and tumble, his compassionate side emerges when it comes to furry critters, but Jiro's soft spot for animals gets him in major trouble when a suspicious stray cat fuses with him, granting him exceptional power, but also dragging him into humanity's hidden battle against menacing spirits.
I think Brendan would like this.
I think Emma would like this too. Like, if it's to do with spirits and Japan yokai, like, Emma loves that. So, yeah. This, we don't have an exact date on when it's coming out, but it is being animated at 100 Studio. They've done a lot of different bits and pieces. They've done stuff as leads and stuff as support. So, they've helped on Love Live, Dr. Stone. They're helping out with 1,000 Year Blood War as second key animation. They did sound design for a couple of things, key animation for Precure. There's only a kind of like a few on this where they were lead. So this might be their first proper lead for a full series. So there's somewhere they've been like the lead directors for just 2 or 3 episodes. This might be their first full animation production role. Oh no, they've done a movie. And the Mononoke lecture logs of Shuzenji Sensei, which definitely was not a big popular series. It's not bad, but like,
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever heard of it.
There's also a few moments of Cheers, which was, a movie from last year.
So not like...
Not Kanpai.
Not the show.
No, it's not a bar where everyone knows your name.
Oh, man. I was going to say,
shame.
They did animation on that. I didn't even pick up on that.
Pretty amazing. I didn't know that he could look like that. Next up, Turkey. The original bowling anime is debuting in July. This is also one for Brenda-san. Pony Canyon and Bakken Records have teamed up for this. It's going to debut in July. I don't really know what to expect. They haven't put out a synopsis yet for it. The color grading of all the characters, everyone has different colored hair, and of course their shirt matches the hair. It's the same color range as Yuru Camp.
Oh, okay.
Of them. So you've got a pink hair, a blue hair, a purple, a yellow, and a sort of greeny brown. The greeny brown girl one looks like she's about to flog it over her shoulder with the like she's going for it violently. She's going for the overarm bowl.
She's like really swung back. She's got some rage.
No, she's violent. She's going for the violent peg.
Yeah, but the elbow's not bent, it's straight.
I know, but I can dream.
Look, the amount of people I've suggested, hey, just peg it while out bowling. Hilarious.
We do need to go bowling. It's been a hot minute since I've done that.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah. Let's move on to Forma. Your Forma. It's an anime. It's getting a world premiere screening at Hawaii's Kawaii-Con, which just happened this weekend. So March 15 was the screening. They've aired the first 3 episodes with commentary from the director at the event. This is a manga which has been running for not very long from memory. 2021, 6th volume came out in 2023 with the 6th volume released on Yen Press in 2024. This focuses on... It's set in 1992, and it's sort of like a tech investigator sort of thing, which is weird for the 90s when you think about it.
Yeah.
A pandemic of viral encephalitis shook the world. I can't remember what that is.
It's like syphilis.
No, it's not. Okay, now I need to Google it. Thank you. We need to clear this up. Dude, fail me now, Google. Stop being so slow. Inflammation of the brain.
Oh, okay.
So yes, syphilis, because it can cause that. So this shook the world. A medical technology that saved humanity evolved into your Forma, as in F-O-R-M-A, an invasive information device implanted into the brain. In this world where every sight, sound, and even emotion is recorded, investigating major crimes means diving into the collective data, a job reserved for special detectives called electronic investigators. Ichika Haida, a prestigious electronic investigator assigned at an astonishingly young age, stands isolated by her exceptional talent. Her newly assigned partner is Harold, a blonde, blue-eyed human amicus. I don't know what that means. Maybe he's a robot.
Or maybe he doesn't have an implant?
Maybe. Together, they solved crime. Like, literally, that's it. Together, the unrivaled duo will expose every hidden secret. It's being directed by Takahiro Ozaki. He did Girls Last Tour, Goblin Slayer, Bastard Heavy Metal, Dark Fantasy, and it's being produced at Geno Studio and Twin Engine as a support studio. So, look, production-wise, it'll probably be very pretty. The question is going to be whether or not the story is good. The staff have noted that the story will begin with the novel's second volume, which focuses more on Harold and the RF Amicus android's origins and background. Okay, so he's an android, as Harold and his brother units are suspected of a crime. I feel like that's a bad idea. Just start from the beginning.
Yeah, also checking your brother units.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Anyway, this could be interesting. We think this is going to be released next quarter. April 2nd, I believe, is when it's part of a new programming block for TV Asahi. So that's up there. My Hero Academia Vigilantes dropped its first trailer. It looks perfect. It's exactly what it should look like based on the manga. Well done. Watch it. I actually honestly feel like the Vigilante story and how it ends is better than how MHA ends.
Oh, dang.
Like, I actually was more excited to read new chapters of Vigilantes than MHA when they were both releasing at the same time. And it ends well. Like, it's everything is rounded out and cleared up, and it provides background to events that have occurred in MHA. So you get to learn about, like, what's his name? The Negator dude.
Eraserhead.
Yeah. You get to learn about Eraserhead's youth, and obviously the guy who was captured by them.
Oh, Kurogiri.
Yeah, and stuff like that. There's a little story about that. There's also a couple of really good, like, side character villains and heroes who show up in this, and you're like, I'm sorry, what? So there's, like, a group of heroes who are basically a knockoff of the Avengers. They're, like, street-level Avengers. So Captain America does have a dustpan lid, and he's like, Dustpan Man.
Oh, no.
And the guy who's joining them is basically like Knuckle Duster is his name. He's basically just Batman.
Right, yes. No, I've seen pictures of him.
They do have, the good news is they do have returning cast from the My Hero Academia series. So Midnight's voice actress, Eraserhead, President Mike, All Might, and Ingenium all have their same voice actors, and they're in the series as part of it. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Cells at Work director Kenichi Suzuki is directing the anime, and Bones is animating the series, of course, as well.
Oh, that's going to be hot.
Yeah, and it's their newly established Bones film group as well, which is like the ones who do like the high quality animation. So I'm hoping they follow the full series of this. This could comfortably sit for about 3 series of 24 episodes, and that would cover the whole story, and it's a good story. Like, it worked really well in the whole overall arcing universe, and it gives me hope that maybe another story can be put in.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you don't know what this is about, it focuses on a guy called Koichi. He could make the cut to become an official hero, so he uses his modest quirk to do good deeds in his spare time, which it turns out is illegal. So you can't use your quirk unless you've got a hero's license. So one day, a fateful encounter with some local thugs leads him to team up with 2 other unlikely heroes. None of them really know what they're doing, but they've got the courage or foolishness to try. They soon discover fighting evil, it takes more than just being brave. It's a lot more than that. There is like... I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but I really want to share it. The series addresses the origin of the Nomu.
Oh, nice.
So, like, you get to see some of the experiments that were going on in the background before the first big encounter in season 1 of My Hero Academia.
Oh.
So it provides a lot of context for that, and a lot of context of what they, what All for One. Yeah, All for One was doing. It's good. Like, All for One isn't the big villain. There is another big villain in that who's really good. And the final villain for this is brilliant.
Is it the Doctor?
No. They're not mentioned anywhere else. Like, and it works well. But they also import a villain from the US after he had a scandal with his wife. Like, he basically cheated on his wife, got divorced, and they imported him to Japan because he couldn't get away from the press.
Wait, hero or villain?
Hero.
Oh, I thought you said villain.
So he's kind of like one of like the other grandstanding heroes, like considered like All Might, like a big person and all that.
Like Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's like that, and I think he's called Mr. Celebrity from memory.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's all like, I'm so good, and everyone's like, no, you're not. So it's really well done. I really love this series. Like I've got some of the manga for it as well. If you haven't read it, highly recommend it if you can't wait. It is so much fun. Like just from beginning to end, everything's fun. And it's well written as well. So there you go. All right, we're going to smash through the last things because we've got a lot of quick announcements. So first things first, G Kids, they have got a Princess Mononoke film 4K restoration, and that is hitting to cinemas in North America on March 26th and other areas around the world afterwards.
That's right. Tifa told us that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look Back has won a award at Japan's Academy Film Awards, as well as the fourth live action film of Kingdom also won some stuff as well. Cells at Work, Let's Go Karaoke, Oshinoko, and Golden Kamuy also received honors as part of the ceremony. Toho Animation have announced that they have a new anime, which is going to be unveiled on March 17th, so the day of this podcast going live.
Oh, cool. Go check it out.
Yeah. So that should that'll be interesting. The company teased the work with a visual, and it's literally like, it's not much of a visual. It's just like a comet.
Oh, interesting.
That's all we've got. And they teased the upcoming work. It's you who are my comet. On the night the comet lights up the sky, the fate of two people will be intersected. And it's like, is this your name?
Oh, actually, no. I've got an announcement as well.
Yeah.
Digimon Con.
Oh, yeah.
March 19th.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
So that should hopefully see some announcements of some games, maybe some new expansion packs and stuff.
Well, there's already a game that's been announced that's coming out. But they said that there's going to be Digimon Adventure Beyond that they'll be showing there.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Then let's jump over to High Dive. They're streaming the Sword of the Demon Hunter Kijin Gentoshi anime. This is premiering on March 31st. It's a new one for the upcoming spring season. This looks good. This looks very dark, very brooding. It's in the Edo era. Young Jinta and his sister must flee their home, finding refuge in a mountain village. This does have similar elements to Demon Slayer, but it's not the same story.
Michael Jackson?
No Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Jinta's grown into a skilled swordman years later, sworn to protect the priestess of the village shrine. Charged with slaying a demon that threatens the shrine, he confronts the malevolent creature in the forest, only to learn a shocking truth. The demon speaks of events 170 years hence, when Jinta must confront the demon in the future. Yeah. So, epic fantasy journey that spans multiple eras as Jinta hunts the demons through time and must come to terms with his own dark nature. Sounds great. Reincarnated as a dragon hatchling is getting a TV anime. Honestly, it actually looks like a Digimon. So,
It does.
Straight up looks like a Digimon.
That hurts.
It's a light novel series. Anime will have an event on March 22nd, and then we will get a release date later from there. I'm not going to dive too much into it. Could be rubbish. There is a new girl band anime coming, which actually looks good.
Oh?
It's called Rock is a Lady's Modesty. It is a bunch of girls who are at like the upper crust lady academy, literally, but secretly they all want to play rock and roll, and then like it's the contrast, it's the gap, as they say, the moe gap between them being these prim proper ladies and then them rocking out absolutely ferally.
Okay, but when we're talking like rocking out ferally, we're talking like what genre of rock and roll?
Metal.
Okay, face paint?
No, they just look like they're having like far too much fun. Like they've gone kind of primal, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's being directed by Shinya Wataba, who did the Idolmaster Million Lives and Aikatsu Stars. It's over at BN Pictures. That's Bandai Namco. And they've got the guy who, Ori Yasukawa, who's done Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War Separation, Miggy and Dally episodes, is assistant director. So there's a lot going on here. The writer for scripting is the one who did Food Wars and A Certain Scientific Railgun Tea. So, and they've also got
Oh no.
The visual director is Yasufumi Sojima, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yes.
So, look, I think it's going to look really good. They are using elements of that sort of uncanny CG that we get with most idol anime, but this is not idol. It is the Young Lady X Rock Youth manga takes place in an all-girls school where young, gorgeous, and ladylike girls from all over the country gather. A girl named Lalisa, who became the daughter of a real estate tycoon after her mother remarried, gives up her guitar and love for rock music in order to act like a rich young lady, but her passion is rekindled when she meets a highly skilled drummer who attends the same girls' school. So, yeah, the character design is just beautiful. And it's the classic quad. You've got a guitarist, a bassist, a keyboardist, and a drummer. And it's just going to be fun. Like, that's all I can say for certain. So, check it out. I think it's going to be good. Right, let's smash through these. The animated Devil May Cry series has had a few clips unveiled on YouTube in English. They look very good.
Have you seen the recent trailer for it?
Which was it, the one where they put the opening theme on it, or
No, there's been another one since. Basically, people have said it looks just like a peak AMV.
nice?
And I'm like, this is what I want from my anime.
Yeah.
Especially something from that era to bring
Yeah.
back the whole vibe.
Yeah.
I am so excited for it.
Kaiju number 8's compilation film is hitting North America in April. Season 2 has been locked in for its release date as well now. KonoSuba Season 3 is getting a sequel, which was announced as part of the OVAs. So as in, like, there's going to be a Season 4 possibly, but they haven't said whether it's another film or if it's a series.
Okay,
So
when you
that's-
said sequel, I thought it was going to be like 3.5.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I read it too as well. And I was like, wait, no, now I understand once I read the article. Frieren Season 2 confirmed for January 2026. Call of the Night Season 2 confirmed for July. One Punch Man Season 3 confirmed for October. And the first part of Fire Force final season is April this year as well. It's got a second call, which is going to be later in September.
That's exciting.
So there's a lot of big shows coming back. And that's just the ones that have had announcements in the past 2 weeks. There is even more. Highly recommend go have a look through Anime News Network if you want to find some of the latest stuff. They're always our go-to source. So,
Well, also, you'll be able to read more details there than what we discuss in the show.
oh, absolutely. I mean, like, yeah, I kind of just give it lip service, really.
Hey, look, there's only so much we can do without wasting their time.
Exactly.
Because you might not want to know about everything, but whatever you do want to know, you can go look at.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that's where we're going to wrap it up. Be right back.
Kawaii-Fi.
Well, that is where we're going to leave things for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Next time, it's a new anime season. Spring is in the air and in my step. And that, of course, means...
Hey, people?
Yeah, more anime.
That's it, yes.
It does also mean the cherry blossom season kicks off in Japan. So if you are traveling, be safe. It is very busy there at the moment. We were very lucky when we went over in February. Very quiet. Highly recommend it. It is cold, yeah, but like things to be quiet.
Yes.
Now, if you have enjoyed what you've heard, buttons, hit them. We'd love you to hit the subscribe button and join us for future episodes. This episode, the subscribe button is hiding a magical girl transformation sequence behind it.
Be careful.
Be careful.
Be careful.
Very careful. Make sure your mum's not in the room when you click that button. If you are listening on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the like button as well. Let us know your thoughts on...
If you wish to gush about the magical girls,
please let us know in the comments. Kenny may not fight you. I'm not sure. He's currently dealing with the election season here in Australia for his work. So
yes, he's doing that. Definitely not being a magical girl.
Well, and Tifa is being a magical girl in a play. So, like, that's where they are. Kira Lee's making outfits still, and Emma wanted to play Sims.
So they're all magical girls. We're the only ones who are off duty this week.
Yeah. Now, if you do want to support us further and want to hear more dumb stuff, and my god, there's going to be some, head over to our Patreon. You can support us there for as little as $8 a month. Get you access to the pre-show and any outtake audio as well. Higher tiers tiers get video versions of the pre-show and other content as well.
So you get to see us like getting dressed for the show beforehand?
No.
No?
No.
Oh. I'm thinking of a different show then. You didn't have a magical girl transformation sequence during the pre-show today?
if this is my magical girl transformation, I want a refund. I'm not. No. But look, you can find us over there. We've got. You can vote on things like these episode topics as well. There are usually, I think, about 3 votes per year. We've
Halloween?
We've got Halloween. We tend to. We've got the White Day, and then there's usually something else that pops up. I can't remember what it was. Originally, it was Valentine's Day, but then we moved it to White Day to play on the whole thing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot. And you can contribute your thoughts to the Anime Awards as well.
Oh, yeah.
What your picks were for the year.
Yes.
Now, on that, we are still on socials. Twitter is no longer active /X, and I'm honestly considering what we do keep and what we do discard as the year goes on. But that's a discussion for later. There's just a lot of socials.
Yes, and we just want to optimize it to get to you, the viewers.
Yeah, so if you are listening to us if you are following us on Threads or Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Discord, let us know. Let us know that you are enjoying what we're putting out, so we know that is a platform we should be on. Because at the moment, it's a bit hard to kind of judge.
Yeah, the more you engage with us, the more you'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have some content from the Japan trip that I need to go through and see if it's good enough quality to put up. I will mention that when I was over in Japan, Emma agreed to join me and go see the Osamu Tezuka Museum, which was amazing. So lots of Astro Boy content and getting to see a lot of history around the great man. So maybe I think I might have enough content for a video for that. I don't know how long a video is. It might be like a short, maybe. We'll see.
Half an hour.
There wasn't that much in there, as in recording wise, and also the stuff you can't record, and I want to be respectful of that. So,
yeah.
Either way, we're glad to be back. Don't get me wrong, I love Japan. Love meeting some of you guys over there as well. But it's good to be home and back on the lam and getting everything going again. Also, bread. God, I missed bread and proper coffee.
Oh yeah.
I know Japan's the whole milk thing's a bit weird there, but I don't like the heat-treated milk flavor on all of my drinks. I would like some real milk, please.
Valid.
So, yeah. But yeah, that's that.
That's what we got for you this week.
Yeah, look, it's been a long week. We hope you've been keeping well so far this year. It has been it's wild to think we're 3 months into the year already, and we're already banging into another anime season. But we'll be here for you, and we will be back in 2 weeks' time with another episode looking at what's coming up for the new season. I think Lazarus is this season. I'm very excited. That's the new one by Shinichiro Watanabe, Cowboy Bebop. Apparently set in the same universe. Ooh. So different timeline, but same universe, which is yeah, cool.
I'll take what I can get.
But yeah, that's it. You've been listening to Kawaii-Fi Radio. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, watch some anime.
I looked at the footage and it looked like I was about to flip them off with the...
I thought too.